in the upper right, in the red, we have our Protoss.
KT roster stats.
You ever know why he chose his ID? I don't. I was just wondering if he might.
In the bottom left, we have our Zerg.
StarTale Life.
So I'd ask you that, Taste, really quick. I'd put you on the spot, like, and give you about 5 seconds.
Yeah, let me tell you a
answer.
story. Hold on. No, I don't know why Stats is using his ID.
There's some IDs like this where I think there must be a story, but I just don't know what it is. And the thing is, nobody knows, so it's not like somebody's like, oh, I know this story, and tweeted at me. I just like to think, you know, let's go to Code S Life.
That
some
is
profanity there for some reason.
Just being murdered. The top of his
Protoss cone head. He's
top
eating
of the Protoss cone head is being bit off. So and I'm pretty sure, I don't know much about Protoss and Enemy Wolf, but I'm pretty sure that's where the brain is.
I think so. I'm pretty sure that the Protoss Zealot, for example, looks sort of like a human in anatomy in a lot of ways. So you would stand to reason that the brain is in the head as well.
It's in the Protoss's tail. There is no. Oh no! Actually, I think the Protoss do have tails. Do
they
Protoss have little tails?
They have tails like as their hair, like that sort of thing.
Those are not. That's hair, man.
I mean, they look
that's
like
not
tails.
A tail, man. That maybe a Zerg ponytail.
Oh, hold that thought. We're gonna see this cannon.
Cheese.
He could actually
second probe coming out here.
He could actually wall that off right in front of the assimilator. Yep. Oh, he missed it.
Oh!
He missed it.
Oh! He's gonna have to cancel.
He's actually gonna commit. No. He takes the probe back.
Abort mission.
He sends the probe back to make the Nexus. Wow, awkward.
All right.
That's a bit of a bumpy start here.
Well, bumpy starts are. We can use anything from the past to talk about this game. Bumpy starts for Stats usually lead to good results.
Yeah. He walls it off now and cannons it. I'm like, whoa.
We're like, oh! And then it doesn't work. We're like, oh, okay, I guess we should just look when the pool's done. All right, well, he does steal a mineral there. Bring that back home.
Yeah.
You know, and judging from that last game we had, maybe that one mineral will help a lot when they're both mined out and not on a fourth base.
Gotta think about that, man. What if at the end of the game it's a base trade of Mutas and he's got like 24 minerals left? He can't make the last extractor because that probe stole his 5 minerals.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Could happen. That would be crazy.
You and I are seeing the future right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have the Nexus almost done. These games are always a little bit weird at the start because every cannon rush results in slightly different
yeah, all the timings get
drone
weird.
Pulls and, you know, how many cancels or not cancels. This one isn't as crazy as some, but still a little bit of a tempo throw off here for Life. A little bit more so than for Stats.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of disruption.
So the cybernetic score is a little bit over halfway done, and we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Stargate play from here and another Oracle, and maybe this time we'll see what happens when he turns on detection instead of a.
I would be really surprised if it was anything else but an Oracle opening, because that's how Stats has been opening basically since the beginning. Always Stargate, and then once Oracles became standard, that's how he likes to do it. But I'm hoping that Life is going to show us something a little bit different. Swarm hosts on this map not as good as they are on Sejong, so I think we're going to see a different composition, be it maybe Roach Hydra, or maybe even a big aggressive speedling attack at the third base to try to shut that down. He's going to need speed first, though, and he is adding his first 2 gases now. And, I mean, I don't think it's going to be Phoenix's. That kind of build is only used by, like, Rain still now.
A little bit passe here.
Oh. That was a fancy word used right there.
I didn't use anything but $5 words, Wolf.
$5 words?
That's a $5 words, man.
Actually, $5.
So like, it's a little bit old. I'd be like, that's a 5-cent word. But Tasteless is bringing out $5 words in his cast.
What is? I don't even know this term. $5 words. $5 words to me must be $5 words because I don't even know that one.
They cost more than worse words. Okay. It's a nice fancy word.
Okay, I see the analogy now.
Yep.
So not like, let me give my 2 cents here. It's like, let me give my, like, $500 because I got a lot to say.
Yeah, depending on
fancy words.
The fanciness of the words, yeah. I mean, just.
Tastes like sometimes I charge more on weekends. But
yeah.
All right, well, he's going to scout this third Nexus.
And he's actually going to start harassing this probe here. We do have enough money for the Nexus, so it should just be put down. right there.
Ooh, he denied it, actually.
Oh, he's not going to get the probe, is he?
I don't think he's going to get the probe. He's just dancing around so he can't place it.
This is life. I love to cast.
All right, you should be able to put it now.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's microing the Oracle.
Okay, 3 kills. Pretty typical Oracle harass.
Yeah. That Oracle is nothing special.
And now we have the triple gateway wall.
Yeah, you know the late Nexus doesn't really... I mean, it's annoying, but it's not like it's going to stop him here. And uh-oh, whenever you see that +1 air weapons from stats at like the 8-minute mark, you know we're going to see a long, epic game just like last game. Obviously, going to be a bit
choice
different.
Here. I assume that if he's going to expand again, he actually wants to take not the upper left, but actually the upper right expand. The one Protoss doesn't normally take.
You're talking about stats taking the top left?
Top right, I mean, actually. I think that's fine.
Oh, the one below his main base?
Because it's easier, yeah, it's easier to defend than the upper left. Let's see, though.
Yeah.
You know, Stargate play, you basically make this big fortress, and, you know, you use the range, and even though there's not tons of mobility, I mean, your armies are always a little bit more mobile than the majority of units in the game, but you just have this area that's pretty easy to cover by air, and you can then poke out, and yep, here goes the additional Stargate.
You essentially make a fleet that has a ground army supporting it, and then, you know, it's obviously able to cross terrain, but at a somewhat slow pace. So you need to make sure that your bases are pretty close by, but also if you want to be aggressive with it, you need to have that base placed in such a place that you can attack the Zerg and defend relatively easily without moving too far away from each other. Roach Warren coming down here, very interesting. I'm not entirely sure what that's going to do against this many boards. He's already shown the voids as well. Pro block here, not going to last her, but a great force field.
Really nice. Wendling does come up here. Now he should have seen the other Stargate.
Yes. And still makes 12 roaches.
Now he's got a bunch of Void Rays coming down here now. We have seen some players try to do a little snipe here on the hatch. Other times they just recall back home.
I suppose the roaches are going to help him hold the ground army here that's coming across the map. Because, you know, with just Lings alone, not going to be enough, I don't think, with this many sentries. He's getting roach speed though also. I'm really curious about what he's planning to do with these roaches. Because he's scouted the air style. He's seen both Stargates. He's seen a massive amount of Void Rays. He's just going to make Ling run by his work because he's life and he's never going to stop trying. It's actually amazing to see him do this. So a lot of Queens for the support on the ground here. I understand the roaches right now for the defense. It's definitely going to help him quite a bit. We're going to have this engagement now. Force fields go down. The Queens are there at the back.
Okay, not a lot of ground presence here for the Protoss. Just a few Zealots here. The force fields are going to go away. Yeah, the Oracle not activated here. This is just barely looks like not enough. Is he not going to warp in? Looks like he's not going to warp anything in.
And that's what those roaches really were for here initially. That could be the end of them. He also got upgrades for melee units, I want to point out. So besides the roach speed, no more upgrades for those. Pathing lands on the way. And Infestors are an excellent choice against this type of style. If you can do those chain fungals like we saw Life almost turn the game around with last game, it's absolutely brilliant against Protoss. All right, this is the type of engagement he needs Queens for.
Actually, this is making a little bit of headway here. It's funny, you know, the Zealots are just enough to be in the way. The Queen's just not enough.
Yeah.
Protoss loops back around here. And you got to keep in mind here, you know, 70 drones to, or 83 drones, excuse me, to 70 probes here. He's keeping the Zerg still pretty busy. I mean, this large number of roaches cannot combat ultimately a big Protoss air army. Protoss also, oh yeah, excuse me, you're right, a Nidus.
It's a Nidus coming up here, and I really liked what Stats was doing there because he kept using the Oracle in detector mode to see those tumors. So he was always able to look at the tumors and, you know, eliminate them to make sure it was tough for Life to take a fourth base. But I don't know, what do you think about this Nidus? Like, what could this potentially be for? Is he going to try to, like, do an Infestor harass with roaches at the third base or something? That's the main base? I don't think
it's hard to say. I mean, one thing to note for the Zerg is that he doesn't have a lot of vision on the map except for the upper left. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's totally possible. Nope, there it is. All right,
Queens could do a lot for him here.
I got to say, I feel like
he's got 19
pretty
queens.
Scary. He does have 19 Queens, but he does have Templars out here, 4 of them. And the angling here of the structures.
This is going to be crazy.
Oh my God, he just knows this is happening because he saw the tag units just went in there. Okay.
I don't know, man. He's going to have to feedback some queens and or infestors. Here we go. Starts feedbacking some of those queens, gets the infestor that he wants, but he needs to start, like...
Yeah, Storm's not done.
Yeah,
we hadn't seen the production tab, but I thought Storm might have been closer to being done. The fact that it's not done means Zerg should just be able to get this base.
I think so. This is way too many queens, and he's got so much infestor support. Void Rays are not going to help. This one Immortal is not going to help. And he doesn't have enough gas to like warp in mass High Templar to keep feedbacking. He's going to have to start to take an engagement here. There go the Fungals. So many queens, these Void Rays don't hardly stand a chance.
Now blasting through the rest of the Protoss remaining army here. There should be more
Colossi
popping out here. Yeah, you know what? Let's see if he can get some more. Zerg can get some more out here.
He's got such a great reinforcing path. Could he have killed the Nidus? Things would have been different, but he can't. You know, he just can't get over there.
It's too late. Yeah, he broke him. I was going to see if there's any more coming over here, but no, that's just way too much here for our Zerg player. And that means Protoss is now down to 2 bases while losing all of the critical tech that he spent most of this game building up, and that's why it's now a GG. 1-1 here. Great series.
Pretty good series coming out here. Pretty exciting.
I do wonder if the Stargate, the Sky Toss play is the best move back there.
Yeah, I don't know.
We saw him push out, and I'm thinking to myself when I see that push moving south on the map, I'm like, this isn't going to kill any tech, right? I mean, are you just putting pressure on here? It seems like with a Zealot Warp in, you're actually expecting to do substantial damage, but just looking at the way this map is laid out, how on earth are you going to do that?
I'd like to see, you know, more information about what stats was actually able to identify, because how did he know there were that many queens? Because had he known that, he might have been thinking, wait a minute, what are you doing? Are you going to try to come in here and do a Nidus or something? Like, what is your plan? I think he might have actually hidden the queens for a while, because I didn't know there were 19 queens until I saw the unit tab. I was like, oh my god, there are actually that many queens. I knew there were a lot. Like, I was thinking like 9, 10, but not 19
queens, yeah. Well, he could hide it back there pretty well. And you could see the moment that they popped out of the hatch. I mean, the air presence that's so scary, it doesn't even matter. I mean, we were seeing initially the Roaches, and I thought, well, gosh, I mean, there still didn't seem like there's enough queens, and then we see 19 pop out of that Nidus.
That's the answer. I was like, sitting there going, what are these Roaches doing? What are they going to do? Well, if you have 19 queens, that's your anti-air. Fight carriers with that. You're gonna beat Tempest with those queens, man.
It's pretty crazy, that attack back there. Stats is going to be picking the map.
You were casting at me right when we saw this Queen Corruptor timing attack. This seems to be coming like in Code A and a little bit of GSL, just like this new sort of attack
I think
style.
it's a proper response to a lot of the Sky Toss play we've had. We've seen some Zergs have a difficult time breaking that. A lot of times they just stay back and try to win in the long run. But in this case, by the way, Foxtrot Labs. Foxtrot, not a funny comic at all.
No.
Foxtrot before your time, Wolf?
I never read it, or I don't know anything about it.
It's not as funny as Garfield or something. Garfield's just like the pinnacle.
I only know the name. I don't think. I know. What's the name? I know another one before Garfield. It was on a calendar. A comic that's on a calendar. Do you remember what that one was called?
It's on a calendar. There's lots of comics on calendars. Calvin and Hobbes, or
not that one. Calvin and Hobbes was great. I know Calvin
Farside's the funniest.
Yeah, Farside. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh,
Farside.
yeah, that's right. There were lots of Farside comics. They're by far the funniest.
Yeah, I love those.
By far. Anyways, game number 3 here. Who will move on? Stats or life? We're gonna find out soon on Foxtrot.